Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a stud linebacker that I'd like you guys to meet. His name is Michael Moore. He is out of University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. Feel like a lot of people need to get to know you. Have a lot of great traits as a linebacker, a lot of great versatility. We'll eventually get to all that stuff, but Mike, go ahead, introduce yourself, and we'll get going.
Michael Moore from Houston, Texas. I play linebacker, inside linebacker here at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, and I'm a senior.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is your last go around, and I believe you guys have finished up. So, I mean, we're free to move on and talk about you as an NFL prospect
Yes,
this
sir.
right now. So, but Mike, I do want to kind of set the stage, for people who don't know you, your story, and let's just go ahead and start out from the very beginning. How long have you played football?
I've been playing football since I was 4 years old, and I'm 24 now, so 20 years.
So damn near your entire life.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes,
um,
sir.
nay, that's fine. Came out of the womb with a helmet on. That's what
Yep. Just
I guess
about.
that's what people tell about you. So, all right. Well, obviously, been playing football forever, and having my notes, you went to Pearland High School there, around in the Houston area, and along with some football, also did a little bit of basketball. So let's talk a little bit about your high school days, if you don't mind. Obviously, very competitive program, but any fond memories you have of you as a high school athlete?
Just I remember my freshman year of high school. I got there and I'm meeting all these kids that I think I haven't met for the first, like I haven't met yet. And so the running back I met, his name was Jalen Benefield. Walked up to him, he shake my hand, he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "You look familiar." And it turns out I played against him in Little League. And so like slowly as the day goes by, or like them weeks go by, I'm meeting other people that I think I haven't met or played against before. The people I played against in Little League. So it's just stuff like that. And then obviously Pearland was a powerhouse around the time. So we went, they won state 2010. Uh, then they went back in 2013, but then they lost to Tyler Murray and Allen. But just going to those games and stuff like that, that's the most fun thing I remember about it.
Gotcha. And I had also mentioned you had a little bit of basketball in your background.
Yeah.
A bit of a basketball fan for yourself, or no?
Yeah, I am. I'm a Houston Rocket. Everything that's Houston, Houston Texans, Houston Rockets, the Astros, I'm Houston everything. So
All right. So he's got Houston in his blood. What about you as a basketball player? When I say you have a basketball background, is that something you take pride in? Is that something you feel maybe it's even helped you as a football player?
I do take pride in it because a lot of people, like, yes, I'm playing football now. So I'm like, Mike, you ain't play basketball. Like, Mike, you can't hoop for real. I'm like, if I didn't love football and football is out the window, basketball is most definitely the sport I would have tried to take it all the way in.
I mean, it's definitely interesting. Mike, obviously, decent sized athlete as a football player, somewhere between 6'4", 6'5". I mean,
Hmm.
I suppose you could have potentially played a little at the collegiate level, but I
Hmm.
don't know how much of an offer you'd get for a guy that particular size
Yeah.
playing basketball, but certainly playing football,
Mm.
totally different story. So you're coming out of high school, and obviously the recruitment is happening. Again, a lot of great talent coming out of that program in Pearland. But for you, you end up at Bethany College.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your recruitment and how you ended up there.
Well, basically, I was just under recruited, and also I did have an injury going into my at the start of my junior year, going into my senior year. So that's what also kind of slowed it down. And then after my senior year and weren't a lot of schools calling coming my direction. So I ended up going to Bethany, and my decision to go to Bethany didn't happen until like July, and the season started in August. So, and the reason I got to them was because they came and did a seminar like somewhere downtown in Houston. I just remember my dad taking me there. And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna sign here, and then that was that.
Yeah, I mean, and you were there for a minute. You played there,
Mm.
but you basically, you have played for a couple different schools until obviously you ultimately got there at UAB. You end up also moving from Bethany College to Ellsworth Community
Yeah.
College. So it's a little bit of a change here. So
Yeah.
what's going on? Can you enlighten me?
Uh, Going from NAI to JUCO, I felt like I did enough. I did good enough at the NAI level where I was like, okay, I want to see if I can. Obviously, I want to go up, elevate. So I had a high school teammate who, out of high school, had got all these offers from these junior colleges, and at the time, Ellsworth was in the what is it, the KJCAC, the Kansas Junior College Association. And so he sent my film to his coaches at Ellsworth, and then he got me to go there. And then, of course, at that time, COVID was also there. So we're looking at 2020 and got there, season started, and it was a COVID season, COVID year.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of these recruits. A lot of these guys that I'm talking to lately, like you're part of the class that has to deal with obviously the pandemic. I mean, you get there to Ellsworth Community College and you're like, damn, you're telling me I can't play? I mean, I
Yeah.
can't work out. I mean, I got to wear these masks and
Mm-hmm.
making things even more difficult for any junior college player, which typically, I mean, no offense to the college there at Ellsworth, but a lot of JUCOs very tough
Yeah.
in and of themselves because you're trying to establish yourself and hopefully get looks at more challenging levels of play. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And so you do eventually play a little bit there at Ellsworth, and then
Mm.
ultimately you got to UAB,
Yeah.
which is where you've spent some good time. So how did that transition happen? Obviously, you balled out at Ellsworth at least enough for some coaches.
Yeah. So when I was at Ellsworth, obviously I played that COVID year, but the COVID year didn't really count towards our eligibility. So that following year was we were about to start our normal season because COVID had ended and everything was getting back to normal. And right before the season, I proceeded to break my ankle, so I missed that season. And then at the end of that season, a lot of college coaches at the time, like at these FBS programs, they heard that news and then didn't like they kind of shied away. But Coach Clark was the head coach at UAB here, and then Brian Vincent had came all the way out to Ellsworth, talked to me for a little bit, asked me if I can play and stuff like that, and they really just stuck with me throughout that whole process. So that's how I got there. And then when I got here, a month later, Coach Clark retired. Then Coach Vincent was the interim head coach. So, and then that I obviously played two different positions because when I got here, they got me to play that outside linebacker slash DN. But in my junior college, I was playing nickelback and inside linebacker. So, but I got here and I gained a lot of weight.
So you talk a little bit about really what I feel is what makes you you as an athlete, and that is that you are somewhat of a unicorn
Mm-hmm.
when you're looking at an athlete because I swear, Mike, you can play like five different positions if someone asks you to. I mean,
Yes, sir.
um, you, first of all, dude, what is your current height and weight for people that are wondering?
So I'm 6'4" and I'm 230.
So 6'4", 230. I had in my notes 245 once upon
Yeah.
a time, so I know you can get up and weight. And so I was sitting here thinking, what is this guy? Is this guy an edge rusher? Is this guy, I mean, I know you've mostly played middle linebacker, but dude, you actually talked about you playing like almost like a secondary
Yeah,
role, which is
yeah.
very interesting. So, um, how else were you used there at UAB during your time there?
Uh, I mean, really, just that first year, I was at that DN spot, outside linebacker spot, and then the next year, when Dilfer came in, I had a new position coach, just a whole new coaching staff, and so for the first 3 games, I was still at that outside linebacker DN spot. And then we had some guys go down, I guess some scheme issues or whatever. And so my coach was like, "Hey man, you finna come into the room with me. You finna play inside linebacker." And he's like, "How you feel about that?" I'm like, "I'm good, coach. I'm ready to go. I played in high school, so I'm ready to go." And then that's how it happened.
So, obviously, I think, for most of your time, I guess most people have known you as a middle linebacker. But
Mhm.
again, like I said, I do feel like, you know, some of that versatility really is one of your better attributes as a prospect. Other than that, is there anything else that you feel maybe separates you from other guys at your position? I mean, obviously we got the size, the versatility. Anything else
Yeah.
that you feel maybe people are sleeping on when it comes to your
Mhm.
game or something? Talk to me about you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot quicker and a lot faster than most people would, you know, first team be like, he's long, so he's not that quick, or he can't run. But then when you get out there in the field with me, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't think he was moving that fast versus on film where it don't look like it. So yeah, I think my speed is I have deceptive speed.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Mike, that I feel is you're going to immediately contribute on at the next level is special teams.
Yes,
I
sir.
know that is something that you have a lot of experience doing.
Mm.
Um, Talk to me a little bit about your attitude and approach, and just kind of overall success on special teams.
I mean, it's the same way as if I'm on defense. I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to make a play. I'm trying to make the tackle. I want to be the first one down there. Uh, that's just how my attitude is about all of it.
And I mean, is there like a particular spot there on defense that you like perhaps more than another? I mean, of course, I mean, you can go down on kickoffs and punts or what have you, but I mean,
Mm.
like, um, do you have like a favorite spot on special teams or no?
I feel like because of my special teams coach, he had me there for so long that right guard spot is kind of growing on me. So I think that right guard spot. I did like being the 5 or 4 on kickoff just because I'm straight to the ball. So yes, sir.
It's just in your line of sight, so
Yeah, it's in my line of sight.
it's just
Just
easy.
run
No,
full
no,
speed and go get it.
no, I get you there. The other neat thing about you, Mike, is that you were named team captain. And talk to me about what it means to be the leader of your defense.
Mm.
And obviously, get that honor and all that good stuff. What does it mean to be a leader there for UAB?
Yeah, it just meant a lot to know that those guys on that team, or even the people on the staff, the coaches, GA and stuff like that, think highly of me and think I'm fit to set an example. Because I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not really a super vocal person, although I can articulate myself well. I'm more of a lead by example. So when it's game time and stuff like that, you'll never see me giving the big pregame speech, trying to hype everybody up. I'm more of a, okay, ball kicked, watch me play, and
All
let's
right.
go.
I hear you. Mike, you talked a whole lot about, just kind of your overall journey, which is obviously not the smoothest
Yeah,
journey that most people would love to have coming out of high school. You have to go through JUCOs and injuries, and being part of seasons that just don't pan out the way that you want. So,
yeah.
um, you know how are you approaching these trials, and what keeps you motivated throughout some of that time?
Just obviously my parents, my dad, he was playing sports as well. So just hearing his story, like he had a chance. So me and my dad are complete opposites. I'm a football player. I like football. He's a basketball player, and so my dad was a big time prospect. And right before he had the chance to try to go pro, he blew his knee out. Right. So uh, he don't know that. I don't even tell him about it because I just don't like to talk about it a lot. I use his story as motivation. Like, Dad, I'm trying to do this not only for me, but so you can live through me because I want you to, you feel me, live your dreams out as well. And it's just stuff like that. But just being here at UAB, looking back at being at JUCO, being at the NII level, like it's taught me so much and made me who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what happens, like when you overcome all of that adversity, because I mean, it does kind of sort of become a part of you, and you can go back and say, you know what, I got myself through that. Like there are these people in my life that really helped me that I could lean on during that process. And interesting that you talk about your dad's, history. Who did he play for?
So he was at the University of Oklahoma for basketball. Then blew his knee out, tried to come back, and he had to go junior college. And I can't think of the name of the junior college off the top of my head. But once I get more information on it,
No,
I get back to you and let you
no,
know.
no, you're good, but obviously played for Oklahoma, obviously a huge school. So Mike, obviously, you played alongside a lot of great talent there at UAB, and also I'm assuming, during your time at JUCO. Talk about some of the best teammates you've had over the years. Maybe some guys who've impressed you the most, during your college years.
Yeah, out of junior college, I have Diablo McGee. He's currently a wide receiver at Alcorn State. Big athletic guy who played wide receiver. Then when I get here to UAB, Trey Shropshire, who's a person who played receiver here. You have Starlin Thomas, who's currently on the Arizona Cardinals. Fish McWilliams, D line here, Dwayne McBride, Jermaine Score, like some of those guys, just real good football players. And so those are probably some of the best guys I've ever been around. And Jalen Benefield, the running back I mentioned from high school, yeah, yes, sir.
I mean, I remember talking to the staff there. Really had a whole lot of love for Skull.
Hmm.
And just his overall approach, kind of like the approach of like a coach. so,
Yeah.
um, with that kind of mindset, I mean, Mike, I'm gonna let you be the coach here for a minute. What would be perhaps the words that you would tell your younger self coming out of Pearland? What would be your advice that you would give that kid as he, you know, goes throughout his college journey? What would be the one thing you'd tell him?
I tell them just to stay focused. There's a lot of trials and tribulations that are happening. There's a lot of hard things that are happening. But as long as you learn to fight through them, um, that you'll be okay. And that's what I tell myself.
Nice. So let's reflect a little bit over this career of yours. I mean, obviously, using a whole lot of facets there, throughout your, college time. Um, Give me maybe one of your biggest highlights or memories. I know you've had a lot of great moments, whether it be tackles,
Hmm.
interceptions, sacks, those sorts of things. Can you give me maybe one of your favorites?
My favorite would have to be last year when we went to Georgia. We were their first home game and went down on punt, and I can't remember the guy's name for Georgia, their punt returner, Hughes. Is it Malachi Hughes? He's on the University of Houston now. He's the punt returner. But went down there, made him fumble, and then that flipped momentum. So that was probably one of my favorite plays. And then this year at Arkansas, uh, fourth play of my fault, the third play of their first offensive series. I'm in the middle of the field. I look off three. I come back to the number two receiver, step in front of the pass, and I intercept it, and I take it about 40 yards.
And when I was looking at possible plays that you would talk about, that was
Yeah,
one of the ones that I thought you were going to say.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I wasn't looking at, like last year, of course,
yeah,
but I mean, hey, when you have an opportunity to play against the best talent in the nation, I mean, you get moments like those. I mean, it's got to be an awesome feeling.
yes,
And then,
sir.
of course, getting a pick, awesome for a linebacker, of
Yes,
course.
sir.
So we know obviously that again, we can trust you in coverage. We can trust you to make a play. Obviously, a guy with the hands to do so. So, um, Mike, I do want to meet the guy off the field a little bit to see if there's anything more that we can share. So, share a little bit about you, whether it be your interests, your hobbies, any
Mm.
special talents, or any fun facts about yourself that we haven't already mentioned. Give us a little something extra.
Just I do like to bowl, um, arcades, go karts, stuff that, of course, the video game, playing the video game and stuff like that. So Madden 2K. Uh, I did. Here's a fun fact. I did used to dance. Yep. So took dancing back in second grade, and I stopped probably about seventh grade. So I do know how to dance and stuff like that.
So, when you say dancing, what do you mean by that? You mean like
Just
you're
whatever you can think I had to do, hip hop, tango. Um, we had to do this ballet performance. It was in a Nutcracker. We went to the rodeo in Houston, performed there. So just a bunch of different areas.
But you were a little kid. This
Yeah.
isn't necessarily something that happened anytime recently at all.
No, sir. No,
Um,
sir.
you has some of that maybe rubbed off a little bit, like when you are able to maybe I don't know, make your way to the end zone, like on a pick six or something. Like, does any of that come
We
back?
might. I mean, I dance and stuff. Of course, in the locker room, we having fun and stuff like that. But never onto the field. Not quite yet.
So, if it's karaoke night, is there something that you feel comfortable, with the mic in your hand delivering?
Uh, if it's karaoke night, that's a that's a good question. It would probably be a Justin Timberlake song. Yeah, it'd probably be a Justin Timberlake song.
Okay. Certainly fun. Gonna try and ask you a couple more questions again, just for fun, just some rapid questions. So, favorite breakfast cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. Okay.
Fruity Pebbles.
Interesting. Uh, ice cream flavor.
Vanilla. I lied. Cookies and cream. Cookies and cream. Cookies and cream.
He's like, I lied.
Cookies and cream.
Okay, no good. Let's say, let me see here. Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Batman.
Yes,
Nice,
sir.
nice. Uh, is there a celebrity that you'd love an opportunity to meet, whether it be like, an athlete, musician, even an actor?
Mhm. Ah, okay, celebrity wise, I'll go The Rock. I'll go The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely be there with you as well.
Yes,
You
sir.
you fancy yourself a wrestling fan?
I am not a super huge wrestling fan, but I am a wrestling fan. So like guys like John Cena, The Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, uh R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, those guys back from the 2000s era. Not so much of a fan of
Some
this
of those
era.
guys are still making it work.
Yeah.
So, you think that maybe one day you might have the charisma to get in there and maybe throw down with them, or what?
Nah, I wouldn't get in the ring. Not to wrestle, I wouldn't get in there.
No, I'm just playing with you. But some of the athleticism, maybe some of the dance moves will come back. I mean, you never.
Mhm.
It'll be fun. But hey, I
Yeah.
just felt like teasing you there for a little bit. Um, Mike, it's been fun getting to know you. On and off the field. I know you have a lot going for you as a prospect. As we wrap up our time, again, tell everybody what an NFL team would be getting if they took a chance on you. Go ahead and hit them with your pitch and close with your final thoughts.
you'll be getting someone who's a hard worker who comes in every day ready to handle his business. I don't make excuses. I try to find a way to get what's told of me to get done. And you never have to question my effort or my heart. So,
Right. And again, we've highlighted a lot of great things about you as a prospect. Again, great quality size, which allows for a slew of versatility along the defense, whether it be inside, outside. Again, you have a guy that you can rely upon to, be in coverage, also come down and make tackles, behind the line of scrimmage, and also a guy who can make some plays on special teams. So, I mean, you're
yes, sir.
hitting everywhere that every team, needs a player like you. So, Mike, want to wish you the best. I know you got a lot going on, but thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Again, I got with me Michael Moore, linebacker at UAB. Check this guy out.